I think we can move to billing and payments.
Great. So I am also assigned that role for purposes of this demonstration. So I'm just going to select the billing and payment tab. Again, if I were only a QLR filer, I wouldn't have access to billing and payment. So kind of to demonstrate what Jennifer was just referring to and the question that was asked in chat about viewing applications, it does depend on the role. So I can see all of the IDs of these applications, but I can't click on them to access any of the details. So all I get is the reference number. Whereas when she was showing that, when she was a super user and looking at the pending applications, she could click on all those links. So if I only have access to make payments, I can see the reference because that's important, but I can't access any of the details behind it. So for payments, a lot of this functionality is still under development, but so what you're seeing today may not look exactly like it will when we go live. But what you'll see is, you'll see here, there's a lot of payments due because we've been doing a lot of testing and submitting for this demonstration. So it will show you everything that's due, and and I will demonstrate about being able to select one or multiple items. You'll also have a payment history section where you can see what has been paid or what was in progress. So in progress means, in this instance, that likely the request was to pay by check. So the system generates an invoice, and this payment history section is where you access the invoice. And once we actually received the payment, it would move to paid. So for purposes of this demonstration, I am going to select to pay just a couple different things here to show that we can do one or multiple. So you select whatever it is that you would like to pay, and then choose the select for payment button. And wait for a moment. And it's going to show you the details of that and then the total due. A new feature that we will have in this system is the ability to provide a credit balance. So right now, if you, for any reason, have an overpayment, whether it's a miscalculation on a QLR, or if you're an organization that submits and pays for individual applications, they withdrew before the application was processed. Right now, the only option we have is to mail you a refund check back. And the new system will be able to provide you a credit balance if that's what you would prefer. And it will, right now, it's only displaying here because you have to select if you want to use it or not. When it's fully developed, the notification of a credit balance will display on the main billing and payment page so that you are aware that a credit is due before you get this far, or a credit is available before you get this far. So, for example, if I wanted to use this credit, I would just check the box, and that was very quick. So I'm not sure if you saw it, but it now shows that the subtotal is $10,795. Whereas up here in the display section, the original amount due is $11,070. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave that unchecked. Now, so we now have the option to pay by credit card. And there isn't a limitation on the amount that can be paid, but if you choose to pay by credit card, the processing fee is charged to you by KeyBank. So if you were to choose to pay this, there would be a 2.9% fee charged, and that, because that's charged by our credit card processor directly to you, the charge would show up as a separate line item on your statement. So one charge would be from us directly for the $11,070 that goes to the Gambling Commission. A secondary line item would be the credit card fee from KeyBank. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose to
what credit cards are available?
Yep.
Okay.
So I just want to show what that looks like. I didn't bring a test credit card, so I can't complete this transaction, but I do want to show what that looks like. So I say, yes, I do want to pay by credit card. And it displays this secure window here. And what this is this little pop-up window that is actually a direct link into KeyBank. We are not retaining your credit card information. So this directly links you to KeyBank, and this shows Discover, Visa, and MasterCard, but we're also accepting American Express. So you would enter your card number, all this information, and once you fill that all out and agree It, I don't have that, so I can't do that. I apologize, but it would show you, when you pay, it'll tell you how much was charged and how much the credit card fee is. It does display that to you. For purposes of testing, we have some very specific credit card numbers that were provided by KeyBank for testing, and I don't have any of those with me, so I can't show you what that looks like. But it will provide that information to you. If you decide, I really don't want to pay by credit card, you can just close out of this before that completes, and you can choose a different process. So one of the questions earlier is, can we still pay online? Yes, absolutely. So this is the electronic check, the debit ACH is one of the payment options that we provide now online. So that's not changing. You'll just provide your information, and I'm just putting in test data just to show you, and it will validate your routing number. And then you have to put in your account number. You have to re-enter your account number, and you cannot copy paste. And then any old name. And then it's gonna show you the receipt date. And for purposes of what we're paying right now, which are some license fees, the payment receipt date will be today. We do now let you know when the expected debit date is, and that's 5 business days from the receipt date. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit this. And I confirm that I do want to pay it. And again, just like today, when you make a payment online, you will get an email confirmation that says what you paid, how much it was, and a receipt number. So now that has been paid. So you will see it down here. It takes a minute because once you submit your payment, it has to go into our internal system and finalize all that information, but it will return an invoice number for your records and a receipt number. So I'm not sure how long that takes in our test environment. Oh, that wasn't bad. So now you'll see that we have a receipt number here and an invoice number. And these are still under development, but I can show you what the current version of our invoice looks like. And this is for your records. So it's going to show you your organization name, an invoice number, the date, and then what you paid for, what the invoice was for, how much it was. This does not show the proof of payment here. But your receipt number is here. And if you choose to view the details, you can see that the invoice number was paid by this receipt number, and it'll even tell you how you made that payment and if you used a credit or anything like that. So if you are paying a QLR, we still provide the opportunity to schedule an ACH for a future date. So in the box where it showed that, the only date that was there was today's date, if you're paying a QLR that's, due the end of the month, you would still be able to select a future payment date. And then for any of our entities that are notably overseas, you can reach out to us, and we do have the ability to provide you access to pay by wire. And for anyone that's familiar with that right now, we have to manually send an authorization to you for a wire payment. In the new system, if you're authorized to pay by wire, it will, in the drop-down box, I'm going to pop back in there really quick. In this drop-down box, if you're authorized to pay by wire, it would be a selection here. And when you choose it and say submit, you'll actually get a new notification in the secure messaging, and it provides all of the wire authorization information that you need to wire money to us. So no more waiting for us to email you that information. I covered credits. The one thing that we are still developing that I cannot show you yet today is what we like to call ad hoc invoices. So those one-time things. So for licensees, organizations, if there's a special investigation fee for pre or post licensing, that deposit that sometimes you have to pay. Right now, we generate you a letter and then you mail the money in. we'll be able to actually generate an invoice, and you can either print that invoice and mail the payment in, or you can make that payment online, but the invoice will already be available. That's similar for, if you are issued a Novus, once once we've done our internal work and it's available, an invoice will also be available for payment for that, and any other one-time fees. I'm trying to think what else is common, but those are only two examples I can come up with right now. But we will be able to provide an invoice for everything, which then enables you the ability to pay online.
And we will no longer have that pay additional fees.
Oh, yes, thank you. I forgot. So right now, sometimes, depending on what you're doing, you can make those payments by using that other fines and fees button in my account. That menu option will no longer be available because we will be providing an actual invoice for everything. So you'll no longer be able to select that button and choose how much to pay us, because everything will be here for you to select and say you want to pay it. So.
Okay, we do have one question in the chat. If you're renewing multiple employee licenses, will the invoice show their names? I currently screenshot that page to save it, so we have proof of who we renewed, because the email only shows their license numbers.
Jennifer, are any of these individuals? Oh, is this one an individual right here? I'm not, this in-state card room employee,
Yes.
is that right?
Mhm.
Okay, well, let's look and see. So right now I can see that it's just an application number. Let me cancel.
Owner is a super user.
Yeah.
Wait.
Um,
Let me look here. Pick me.
our intent is to make the information as, as much as what you need as possible, so we can take that back and see if that's something that we can provide.
We can follow up
Yeah,
later as well.
Yeah.
We do have one more question in the
Sure.
chat. How about the pay this amount later with ACH option?
So that will be available for, again, just the QLR payments. So everything else is basically a due now, and you cannot schedule it for a later date. But again, for the QLR, so right now we're still in tomorrow's the last timely day for filing and payment for the QLR. So if you had filed your QLR on October 1st, you could schedule that payment for October 31st. Which reminds me, another improvement we have is that in the current system, your QLR isn't submitted until the payment is made. In the new system, those are two separate processes. So you can see that your QLR is final and submitted the day that you submit it to us, even if you don't make the payment for 5 or 6 or 7 days. So you'll be able to print your QLR as soon as you submit it, and it'll have the submitted date on it when the print functionality is built out.
Okay, if an individual employees renewed their license, will the payment options be the same, such as credit card or debit?
Sure how the interface works, Jennifer. So if I'm an individual and I want to pay my own,
I believe you have all options.
it's all options, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it should be the debit, ACH, credit card, or printed invoice, mail a check in, just like we're showing right now.
Okay. I don't see any other questions.